Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the best new weapons and rolls in Borderlands 4's Takedown at Hadron Abyss. As you can see here, actually pretty crazy what these can do. And that right there was the Swan Song with Torgue and Jakobs. Now, there's three major standouts, obviously the Swan Song, the Shoals pistol, as well as the Draupner heavy ordnance. The Shoals pistol is somewhat like the Maggie from previous Borderlands games, and if you can get a Torgue and shotgun loader on it, it is absolutely crazy. I'll also be comparing this to the Shalashaska, a very similar weapon. The Swan Song with Torgue and Jakobs can get upwards of 53k DPS. And it is also very powerful if you get the Ripper and Jakobs part as well, capping out at 48k. And the Draupner caps at 327k. All of these weapons can appear at the end chest, but the Shoals pistol and the Sharkbait shotgun can actually drop from the Child of Terramorphous. Now, you can get the Draupner from a gold or a platinum chest, and it seems to be a higher percent chance, obviously, on like higher ranks of Mayhem. But oddly enough, the Fishward assault rifle will only show up in the platinum chest, it seems, and I could only get it to drop at about Mayhem 10. I've run Mayhem over 60 times now, and a quick disclaimer, I did use a save editor to get the best possible rolls, but all of these are legit. They aren't like modded, so it wouldn't be something that's like a fake weapon. So these can drop. I just spent like well over 24 hours now grinding this, and I just wanted to talk about the best possible rolls for build purposes. So this is entirely like educational. I believe the Swan Song can also drop from one of the mini bosses. I believe it's the first one that spawns in at that midway point through the takedown, as I had to drop one time. And I will admit, these are actually hard to find. So yeah, again, entirely educational purposes. Now, first I want to talk about the Maggie or the Shoals here. Now, I'm going to be obviously comparing that to the Shalashaska, as both of these have a ricochet effect. This one will deal splash damage on ricochets. This one, every time that you automatically reload, you can get upwards of 5 extra ricochets. Both can come with Torgue parts, both can come with shotgun loaders, and they're Jakobs pistols that look eerily alike. And I'll also toss in the Scootin' shooters in another comparison, because these are actually pretty close in their overall power. I will be using a Torgue enhancement here alongside 3 skillcraft and 2 active fire. So here's the Shoals. I'm just going to go ahead and try to take down the boss with it. You can see it actually does a lot of damage. This is an Ultimate Vault Hunter 7 true mode here, so I am fighting just against Corporal Brendan here as a good just keep things consistent with some of the other videos that I have put out, so you can see the true power of it. Honestly, very powerful weapon, and that was a shotgun variant. Going to the regular variant here without, you can see it also is very considerable in the amount of damage. This is nice, giving you 2 ammo options here, and I have messed around with some of the other ammo options on it. I just personally like the shotguns there because you do some pretty crazy stuff. A little bit longer time to kill when you're not using the shotgun, but it's still very, very powerful, as you see there. Now it's a Torgue roll. It has 14.7k DPS. Now compared to the Ripper shotgun and Jakobs version of this, which has higher DPS, you'll see it here now. So going ahead with firing it away there, the damage is still very good, but not as powerful as the Torgue part on it. So that's the pistol mode. I'll swap it over to the shotgun mode, so you can see there, which is pretty crazy for general mobbing. So this is going to be amazing during the takedown with the amount of ricochets that you can get going with this thing. And yeah, it is very powerful, but the Torgue just wins out in terms of its overall DPS. And we'll compare this to the Shalashaska here, so you can see the Shalashaska just does end up melting a lot quicker here, but both of these weapons are really good, and the nice thing with the Shoals is it's much easier to farm. And here is a comparison to the Scootin' Shoot with the Ripper parts there. This thing is also insane. The only problem with the Scootin' Shoot is that these guns take a little while to warm up, but the damage ends up being a bit higher than the Shalashaska, but bosses that move around are a big weakness for it. So the verdict between these 3 pistols here, I would say this one's 3rd place. However, it's easier to farm, it looks cool, and it is a very powerful weapon. With the ricochets dealing splash damage, this makes it good against Bloom Reaper as well as the new Takedown. And if you're going for the Takedown, this actually beats out the other 2 in my opinion from testing. With the Shalashaska being very ammo hungry, unless you got someone that's able to generate their bullets, this ends up conserving you a bit more bullets, and the damage while in the pistol mode is better than the others. So honestly, this weapon is pretty solid, and you can actually get by with many different rolls here. So whether you have a Torgue one with a Daedalus Swapper or a Ripper, both will be very good, especially for mobbing. Now next up is my favorite, the Swan Song. This, if you have just the Torgue and the Jakobs on it, will get 53k DPS. Now, unfortunately, you get either the Torgue or the Ripper part on it, so you got to choose with whatever you get dropped, obviously, but both of these are really good. It just really depends. With the Ripper part, it's going to have a 12-round magazine, whereas this will have 6, and it can come with a variety of different rolls. Like, you can get a elemental version of it, as you see here, And it comes in a variety of different flavors. There is also just the regular old like COV magazine, which makes it great for some other builds like Cash and Rafa. And you can just have the old plain Jane here, 28k DPS. Even this one is still good. So yeah, this weapon I find really fun, but the best one for it would be the torgue jakobs. And yeah, this thing is an absolute beast of a weapon. So you can see those ricochets bouncing around, just melting Corporal Brennan there. It's crazy. And this is what the Ripper variant of it looks like. So a lot less, or still obviously some good damage, but the torque part is just so crazy. This would be one that I'd like if you're doing like the takedown. Although I don't personally love having the Ripper, as the charge time up is a little annoying on it. But the thing is, even a bad roll per se is still pretty good. So that's the lowest at 35k DPS, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now, the cannonball ability on it, under barrel burst fires explosive cannonballs. On kill, you get additional ammo up to a maximum of 4 bonus ammo, so you can have 5 cannonballs shoot off. You do have to swap to it and then shoot it, but you don't even have to if you don't want to. And I'll show you what the lowest DPS roll that I found was, a 35k. Even this thing is still very powerful. Despite not having the best possible roll, you can get by with any Swan Song that you find here. The underbarrel is really nice, so there's the cannonballs. They do an alright amount of damage. Now, is it worth swapping to the cannonballs? Your mileage may vary. I find that it is sometimes better to just keep firing, especially if you have an infinite ammo build. But if you don't have infinite ammo, you can swap to it to do pretty good amounts of damage. You can see slower time to kill there, even with the lowest possible damage roll that I found, but still really good. Gearbox really said, we're going to nerf the bod, but we're going to introduce a new dataless shotgun to redefine the meta. I think this is a very solid weapon, and with the torgue impact, Jakobs ricochet, this thing is crazy. It's honestly probably even better than the bod. It can get stickies too if that's your jam, but I just prefer having the torgue impact there. This can also come with Hyperion parts, although I don't really love those on this. Tediore parts as well. Unfortunately, it can't get an ammo swapper. A SMG swapper would be crazy, but it can't get those because it has the cannonballs. But no matter your role, you're going to find this weapon, it might be your new favorite. Now, next, I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about the Draupner. This thing is so crazy. Now, between this and the Heimdall is actually a really amazing weapon for the new bounty, or for the new takedown. So you may want to just stick with the Heimdall because this can hunt down all the enemies in the room. However, the Draupner is still like so good. Best for bossing, and it's kind of I feel like why they gave the disc jockey an upgrade, because it's very similar in its appearance and it just is so much higher damage. The best possible roll is a 327k DPS. You can get elemental versions of it. You can get ones that are like 27k. That was the most common one that I found. Now, it does cost 3 ammunition per bullet, but you're going to see there, it bounces off the floor and will return back to you, so you can get pretty sneaky with it if you shoot it near its feet. Yeah, this thing does insane damage. I'm not even firing it at full auto there. Yeah, you get the idea. This is indirectly another aim-on buff here, but yeah, you see it there. You do have to be mindful of your ammunition, but it just clears so quick. That was literally like 3 seconds. I feel like I don't even have to showcase this anymore. You guys get the picture. It is a lot better than the Cooper Duper, which came with the new Takedown or Bounty Pack 3 of Zane's DLC. But yeah, no matter what you get of this, you're gonna love it. It is crazy powerful. Now, again, indirectly aim-on buff. It also is great on Cash. It's great on Harlow. Hopefully Rafa will get some change to Bullet Buddy Deluxe where he doesn't have the animation, so he can then use something like Heavy Ordnances and get a lot of effects out of them. But yeah, this thing is incredible. Even if you get the 271k DPS, that's more than fine. It'll come with either 10 or 13 rounds, and it costs 3 ammunition per shot with 120 blast centimeter range. Next, I'll show off the Ishmael here. I really like this. This is like a Moby Dick reference, and the highest possible damage roll here, 17.3k DPS. This is the rule of cool. It's not the strongest weapon, but I like that they're adding in fun new weapons. Now, this is a weird order weapon because it's not a charge. You just fire these off, and it does cause a bleeding effect. Now, it is still really strong. With the Ripper part here, you can see you can do some pretty crazy stuff on it. It has those little particles, somewhat similar to what you get from like the Crow Swords here. I like the little magazine spinning around on the side there. The bleed effect is kind of nice, giving access to other characters to get some bleed off on enemies. And it also has an underbarrel with a tether snare here. You can shoot at enemies there and you can snare them together and then just go back to blasting with your main attack there. So yeah, this is a fun weapon. It's not the best weapon, but it doesn't have to be. I think that this is really cool. I like the design of this weapon too. Like, I'm more for like Gearbox adding in these fun weapons that aren't complete dog crap, that are actually fun. And this is much better than one of the snipers that we got in the new Bounty Pack 3. That light gun is just so weird. Now, I do want to quickly mention the light gun at the current moment, the loot table must be messed up because this can drop in the takedown. So if you don't have the bounty pack, you can get this and can't use it. It's not that good though. You're not missing out on much. As mentioned, one of my favorite new weapons is the Marshal's Claw here. Now, this is an interesting one. The best, I guess, DPS roll that you can get is the Jakobs Ripper with no dataless, but you can get a dataless shotgun and even an SMG loader, and all of these are great. So first show off the one with no loaders, no swapping ammo. It's strong. It shoots 3-round bursts and it can fire insanely fast like you see there. The best part about Maliwans is the fact that you can then swap over and have 2 different elemental damage types. It hits hard. I really like this weapon and I'm happy. I love Maliwan weapons. And here's the shotgun variant of it. Yeah, a blur of particles. It looks really cool, but honestly, the shotgun loader is not super necessary. I actually find that it's just fine without it. But one thing I do like is having the SMG mode here. This is against a health bar it's not as good against, but still very powerful. SMG makes it shoot a lot quicker, and you likely have a lot of SMG rounds. So this can be a nice way to help deal with that. So no matter what you get, as long as you got a Ripper part and Jakobs, it's going to shred. And I'll show it against a shield bar just so you get a better representation of what it is like. I like the SMG loader myself the most just because SMG ammo is the kind that I typically have a lot. You can go with a pistol, it'll be a little bit slower in terms of damage, but yeah, this thing is an absolute beast. I really like it, and it's just amazing for mobbing. Like the complex route I found a bit hard to use in the new takedown. This thing is amazing. You don't even need the Ripper on it, but if you got Jakobs, it's going to do you well. Now the Sharkbait is an interesting one because tediore shotguns currently don't work properly where they are treated as if they only have one in the magazine, so they're not great for if you're doing like a tediore throwing build. However, this can come with a variety of different roles, and they actually have so many things listed that you can't even see it all because this one right here has a Ripper part on it. You can also get torgue parts on it. And again, we have so much going on that you can't even see that this also has the Jakobs roll on it. So that's with the override and the Chum the Water. Now, this can upwards of 78k damage if you have a torgue part on it. And honestly, the damage on this is not terrible with the Jakobs part as well. So it is a considerable shotgun despite having a current issue with it. But you can see that there. We also have this version here, which has the Ripper part on it and the Jakobs with a bit less damage. But you can see those white splashes whenever it gets the damage off. So as far as the pearlescents go, this isn't the best pearlescent in the game, but it's not a bad one, all things considered. It's really about getting as many of those pellets to hit so that you can trigger that big explosion. And you can also get a manufactured SMG swapper. So we have the SMG, Jakobs, torgue, and the tediore on it. So it is always going to be a tediore gun. It has so many different possible rolls. This is one of the most in the game. This is what the SMG looks like on the torgue version of it. I prefer the torgue roll over the Ripper roll on this. So yeah, I think that this ends up being the best choice for it. You can see there, it hits pretty hard. This version I have is the corrosive version, but if you go to throw it, the problem is, again, it's treated as if it has one in the magazine there, so it doesn't do a crazy amount of damage compared to other things like the laser discer does, but not a bad weapon, all things considered. And oh barnacles, this gun stinks! The Fishward. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they probably messed up. Maybe it has some crazed Earl situation going on. But on kill, it increases the damage dealt of the next mag by 20% for a maximum of 5 stacks. It's a Jakobs weapon. It can come with Ripper. It can come with tediore. It's okay. Yeah, it really doesn't feel like it's doing a whole lot. It does have Jakobs, so that's nice. It looks cool. I gotta say, this is a cool looking weapon, but you can see here, nothing to write home about. So yeah. And that's if you get kills, you reload it, it will do more damage. So if you got an infinite ammo build, you will have to go and reload it. But even getting 100% because it stacks at 5, not crazy. I love the fish particles. You can see those flying around. I think this is a cool weapon. It's just not like super meta, I guess, if you're looking for like the best possible weapon. That's why I left it for the end, because it's kind of a stinker. But yeah, it's a gun, and maybe there's something going on here. There might be some mysterious way to make this really strong. I'm not entirely sure, but as it stands, I think this is the weakest one. And what's great about this is it only appears in the platinum chest as the current moment. So the loot tables for this new DLC or the new takedown do see a little bit wonky, but yeah, this weapon here, yeah, you're seeing it. We're still trying to get the kill when you can literally pull out the Draupner and then say goodbye. So yeah, I just wanted to do a breakdown of all the best new weapons that got added here. Draupner, Swan Song, and the Shoals pistol are the best. and you don't have to worry too much about the rolls. Obviously getting torgue on things is really nice, but even Ripper and obviously Jakobs the Jakobs is on top right now as far as things go, because you're going into rooms with like 50 enemies in them. Having this much Jakobs is nice. So that's why the Shoals is great. The Swan Song with it is amazing. The Schmershel's Claw is great, and the Draupner just drops bosses. So let me know your thoughts on these new weapons in the comments below. We'll be doing builds with the new class mods here soon, so you can stay tuned for that. I am getting surgery here, so Borderlands 4 content may come out a little bit slower, but I'm still grinding away at all of this. So have yourself a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one.